Meant to get all your links, and I just never have enough time in the day, man. I got
Yeah,
them in the description and stuff.
I've been real busy too, man.
Yeah, yeah, that's good though. There ain't nothing wrong with being busy.
Yeah,
All
it's
right. Well, we're live, guys. Welcome, welcome. I got Rakeem with me, horror super fan, and also a director, writer, filmmaker. You want to talk a little bit about yourself and what you do?
yeah. My name's Rakeem Lawrence. I've been running a company called Scared Stiff Films. I've been doing this for about 18 years, but I've also been collecting over 30 plus years. I started collecting like back in the early 80s. It all started off at the first convention ever, Chiller Theater, and then Fangoria Weekend of Horrors came, and then from there it just took off. But as for the
That's
filmmaker,
awesome, man. I've been following you. Oh, sorry, buddy.
now
I've
say
been
what you
following a lot of your pictures, man. Since like the '90s. You've been doing conventions, I'm guessing,
since like the 80s,
or late 2000s,
mid 80s.
'80s. Yeah, you have some awesome photos, man. I've seen
Yeah, thank you, man.
some legend.
I'd have met everybody who's anybody, man.
I've seen that. That's what I got me to really follow you. And then seeing you're also a filmmaker too. How's that been going for you?
It was going pretty good, man. I've been doing it for about 18 years. I write, produce, edit, direct. I do director of photography, do a little makeup effects, visual effects. Got 10 feature
Yeah, you
films,
got
about five out. Next year I'm shooting three films.
that's pretty awesome, man. Are you going to be doing these all on Indiegogo, crowdfunding?
I think I'm gonna do two on crowdfunding, but one I already got executive producer for already.
Oh, that's great. So you got the financing you need to hopefully do what you'd like to do to make the film happen the best way you can.
Yes, for one so far. Then I'm working with a this other guy named Chris, and I'm trying to get funding for another one. I was supposed to shoot one um this year, but the executive producer passed away. So so things didn't turn out in my favor with that.
Yeah, I know you've had a couple of rough patch going for you, but you still keep your head up. I know you're the biggest thing you do is being a dad. I know that's really, really important in your life, and I think that's awesome. Definitely.
I got a son. He's 9 now. His name is Logan. That's the love of my life.
So how is he with the horror? Does he enjoy doing all this stuff with you? Kind of off the old block, or it's not his thing yet?
Well, he started off liking it or whatever. He's more of an anime guy. He's into like video games and anime, and like Roblox and stuff like that. But he collects too. He got a lot of stuff that I bought him. He takes care of it and collects it. He's probably watching right now. If you watching, how you
That's
doing?
awesome. Well,
Yep, I see you got some nice stuff too. How long you been collecting?
not as long as you'd think. It's I started with one mask, and the addiction is real.
Yeah,
The
the
addiction
addiction.
is real for sure.
I could have bought.
But
I joke and say I could have bought 10 houses already.
I could be driving a decent vehicle, that's for sure. I
Exactly.
got the minivan, which worked perfect. I got all that stuff too. I finally started getting stuff together. I've
Nice.
taken it down and put it together a few times because I went to Phantasm and I put on a table there.
Oh, okay. I never been to that one, but I'm happy the Cons is back up and running. I was a little worried there because the whole COVID thing, like threw them all out of commission, and I'm glad none of them like went out of business because of it. They're back full swing almost.
Oh, and I know. I mean, I'm convention compared to you, very, very new at like the conventions. I mean, you've met anybody and everybody from your pictures, Tom Savini. I mean, you name it, you've met them.
Yeah, I met them all. I'd have met Wes Craven, Toby Hooper, the works, man. I had the pleasure of meeting some great people that inspired my career.
I've honestly enjoyed seeing your pictures a lot. I mean, that's what kind of like, oh, I got to talk to this dude. This guy like knows everybody and anybody. He's been through it. People, legends who aren't with us anymore, like Wes Craven. You got pictures of Sid
Yeah,
Haig. The
Sid
list
Haig,
goes on.
Toby Hooper, Betsy Palmer. Man, the list goes on. I met Dario Argento a couple of times too.
That's amazing, dude. I'm very jealous and envious. Very envious. But hey, I enjoy you sharing it. I mean, that's really cool. What? So that's it threw me off, Rakeem. So what made you go with Jay Don Hoff?
Oh, I used to
Like, I
rap.
mean, I know that.
I used to rap. I used to be a rapper and all of that, but kind of put that on the back burner as I started getting older and my film career started taking off. That was my artist name, my rap name. And that's like my nickname. They called me Hoffa because I always disappear. So, that's where my friends gave me that name growing up.
That's hilarious. Always disappearing, huh? Where the hell did Hoffa go?
I'm gone. I get my gone.
Now you see him, now you don't.
Basically. Right.
I know a few of my friends that are probably here are pretty jealous of that Chucky doll you got behind you.
Oh yeah, Chucky's my main man. It moves around and it talks and all that.
That's awesome. That's really cool. They can get pricey. I was looking into them. I'm trying to. It's one of those things. You know how collections go. What do you get next? And you just start brainstorming. And
You know what I want? But I'm running out of space, man. Like I want an Annabelle doll.
oh,
But then again, where am I gonna put it? Like I'm running out of space. I'm always moving stuff around my house, man.
oh, trust me. You've been collecting longer than me. I've only been doing it a short time, and I keep all my stuff in this one room, and it's not that big. And I gotta. If I don't like the one cool thing is it's hard to let some things go that I've had in my collection. It's not one of those things, but I got things I'll never let go and always kind of try to update so I have room so I don't have a horror hoard.
Yeah, well, I have a lot of like autograph posters. I got about a couple of hundred frame, but a lot of them are still in those plastic bin things, thrown in a closet. I got them under the bed, like stuff like that. But I try not to buy anything else. Like I try so hard, man, like not to buy anything else. So like when I go to conventions now, like posters and stuff I just get like an extra signature on there. And I have a bunch of 8x10 books. I have a bunch. Like I'm just it's
The
like
autograph stuff. I even got mine sitting here. I gotta do some stuff with.
yeah, it's too much, man. And I have my own props for my movies and stuff, and you know,
Yeah, I'm telling you, the addiction is real. But the one good thing about this addiction is it's a good investment too. I'm sure you got, no matter what, you got dollar bills basically sitting in 8x10s right there with all the stuff you have. Not that you'd ever want to sell it, but you let some things go.
the, you
That's
know,
where I'm trying to get to. It's tough.
I started to sell a good deal of it, but I told myself, I said, you know what? One day I'm gonna get old. One day I'm gonna die. I'm leaving it all to my kid. I'm leaving it all to my son. I have other
And
kids
honestly, it's
older, so
probably one of the best things you can leave them too. That is value right there. It's only going to go up. But yeah, a dollar bill is might at this rate, it's probably going to go down in value, and those things are always going to be worth more and more. The dollar, they're just going to go up, and it's to me, it's the safest kind of investment you can do and leave, and I think
exactly
that's cool.
like worst come to worst, I pass away or something, my son could make a decision. He's going to keep it, he could sell it or whatever. It's up to him, you know.
But that's what I was saying. It's a good addiction to have because no matter what, it's worth something. It holds its value. And a lot of the stuff I imagine in your collection, all those, and especially we're probably right around. I'm 45. I'm not sure how old you are, but I imagine we're
40,
somewhere in this.
3 weeks ago, I just turned 45.
Happy birthday, man.
Thank
Yeah,
you, man.
so we know how it is. It's these '80s films and 80s legends. You got to appreciate them in late '70s, early '70s. All these icons, you got to appreciate them all you can, which makes these conventions so amazing too.
You know what I started doing though? I had to tell myself because I said, you know what, a lot of the legends are passing away. So I've been trying to get the older stuff now.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Like I was lucky enough to meet Nick Castle in Orlando and some of the '78 cast, and not that you know, they're
Yeah,
all in good health and stuff, but you never know what happens as you get older. I mean,
yeah.
hell, you're the same age as I was, so we were what 5, 10, 11, 12 watching these movies. I mean, those were probably the years that we were the hardcore on it, '80s through
I'm first
basically
home
'90s.
scene, man. One day I was in the Bronx in my grandmother's house. She was at work, and I was laying across her bed back in the '80s. And I was, I used to watch in New York. They showed horror movies on Saturdays, and they showed martial arts movies on Sundays. So I turned to channel 11. Phantasm comes on. That shit scared the shit out of me as a kid, man. Cause I'd have been to enough funerals to know someone can't lift the casket on their own, man.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
hooked from there. I was hooked from there. And then I started doing the cons at a young age. But see, they was free back then. Fangoria and stuff like that. It was like the production companies will come and they'll give out like free posters and stuff signed by the whole cast. Then when late '90s, it became a multi-million-dollar business, man. Everything costs. The photo ops, this, that, you know. Before it was just table pictures. It was free. The only thing we had to do was buy the ticket and buy stuff from the vendors. When I first started doing them, now it's a multi-million-dollar business.
yeah. It's definitely blown up. I think horror's as popular, if not more popular now than it was in the '80s.
Yeah, but it
I
was
mean,
a
that's
time.
my opinion.
Yeah, it was a time when it died out. And thanks to Wes Craven making Scream, he brought horror back. Horror had died out at some point. Scream brought it back. So I always pay homage to that movie, and I'm thankful for that movie.
Agree. Definitely agree on that. Wes Craven was a legend. He went way too soon,
He's a
but he left us with a lot of great stuff.
I picked a lot of those legends' brains. Him, Toby Hoop. I had nice long talks with him. I got to meet the legendary Angus Scrimm. Sat down with him, spoke to him a lot of times.
Trying to get to for some reason, my own stream's not showing up on me. I wanted to address some of the people in the chat and say hi, everybody. Hey, Patrick from Have Cheatable View is here. He's got a great channel. He does some great interviews too. Um, I've definitely learned a lot by watching him. Supine, my friend, thank you for being here. Aaron P, much appreciated, everybody. I hope I'm not missing anybody's messages. I see there's 8 in here. I appreciate you guys all being here. It's great sitting down with Rakeem. This man has been and experienced so much, and especially conventions. That's really what draws me because I've got the convention bug. So seeing what you've done and visiting these conventions and the legends you meet, it's adds even more fun to me. So I appreciate that from you, Rakeem.
You welcome, man. Yeah, that's my happiness, man. Life throws some curveballs, but like I tell people all the time, you got to find things that make you happy, man. Keep you going.
You definitely keep your head up, man. You're a positive guy, and I think a lot of it has to do with your son. He seems to be your drive, your motivation to keep your head up, and that's an
Yeah,
awesome thing. Yeah,
definitely is.
the bond that you and your son have.
Yeah, that's my little man. He definitely is. He's going to take over the business. He
That's the
got his.
way to do it. That's the way.
I bought him his own camera. He got his own computer. He's ready to go. When he gets a little older, he's going to be ready to go. But I'm going to put him in one of my projects soon.
And how old did you say he was? He was not. He's 9, right?
9 now. He just turned 9 last month.
So
Yeah.
we got a future legend on our hand, huh?
Yep, that's Little Hoff.
Little off, man. Is he always disappearing on you, or are you able to keep up with him?
I keep up with him. He's watching right
Yeah.
now.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I'm glad to see that. It's awesome to be able to share something cool like horror with your son. And you definitely, I love those trick or treats behind you too, man. I keep looking at your stuff behind you. So good. I got to get those tots Halloween 3.
That Bill Mosley signed that Otis Driftwood. I have every Trick or Treat Studios man's. I
Oh,
have
really?
like all over. I have them like in other rooms and stuff, in cases and stuff like that. Yeah,
You got a serious house of horrors.
serious. Like it's
The addiction is real. Well, you said since the
DVDs and
80s, so
Blu-rays.
40
These are just
years.
these are just some of my DVDs and Blu-rays. I have like a bunch, like thousands, man. Like it's crazy. 4Ks, laser discs. I got VHS. Like I'm a big movie head, man. Keeps me out of trouble too, man.
That's the important thing. That's the same thing with me. Well, a lot of it with me is what I do for a living. And then I needed something else to do because I've been doing what I do for a living every weekend. Like I'm actually at work, just hanging out. I got my own like room downstairs. So after they go to bed, I come down here and I do my live streams on the weekend. I keep all my stuff here because I'm here more than anything else. So I don't have weekends, but I needed something to keep me busy
Yeah,
outside of just work because I've been doing it for 8 years. Horror has been, and what, especially one of my guys, I take care of 3. We enjoy doing this together. Like we enjoy, like I took them to Crypticon with me and we had a blast and things they never got to do. Like we were right by Michael Bean
to check out.
and his wife Jennifer.
Yeah. My convention home is Chiller Theater.
Oh, okay, you got so you have your own convention too.
Yeah, Chiller
You put on a
Theater.
convention.
The owner's like an uncle to me. His name is Kevin Clement. He's like one of the first cons. It was him and then Fangoria Weekend of Horrors. These other cons you see nowadays, they came early 2000 and stuff like that. They haven't been around as long as Fangoria Weekend of Horrors. The Fangoria magazine had a convention in the 80s and all that, and Chiller, and then the rest of these came along the way. But Days of the Dead is a good one. I usually go to the Chicago one. Days of the
I
Dead,
heard
Chicago,
about that one.
and Flashback Weekend. That's a good one too.
Yeah, I got to there's a bunch I want to check out this year. Like this year, I want to coming up in October, like this coming, well, next year really, but next Halloween, I want to be on the road and hit conventions at least. I don't know, 3 or 4 on the road, and I enjoy it. Like, but I want to travel. I want to hit, say, something on the East Coast, definitely Florida again, maybe something in Texas and something else, and kind of plan it out. Hopefully, I can plan a trip where I don't have to stop and I could just be on the road.
Yeah, you got to come out here next year. Put you in one of my films. Could be an extra.
Absolutely, absolutely, dude. Absolutely. I'm always happy to support indie people. It's one of my new like hobbies, not hobbies, but something I'm real passionate about is supporting the people who put some heart into something and really want to do something cool and make a just just in general something to add to share their creativity and support it. So yeah, man, I definitely got to hit the East Coast. I'm from the East Coast. I just haven't been back in a long time.
Or where you
I did
reside?
grow up. What's that?
Where do you reside at now?
I'm in Missouri now.
Oh, okay.
I lived in Florida for a long time. And before that, I lived in Massachusetts. I lived in upstate New York, and I was born in New Jersey. So I got a lot of East Coast in me.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I be all over the place.
Yeah, yeah. I enjoy traveling though. I enjoy like the Midwest is nice. It's different. Going to Florida is different. Going to East Coast is different. I haven't been too much to the West Coast, other than like Colorado, but that's not really West Coast. But
Yeah,
I
going
don't know
out
if I can afford to
to
visit.
soon. I'm gonna move out to Cali soon if everything goes according to plan. Yeah, it's
I
more
had a
film
little.
out there because I'm all even though I get my own films done and all of that. I'm trying to like get a job in one of them companies. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's always good too, because that just gives you. I mean, and then the cool thing is you probably do have connections. Oh,
Yeah.
Cheetah's asking, and he's got a great question. Hello, Savannah. Great to see you. Cheetah was saying the bloodline continues when you were talking about your son, which I totally agree. And he has a great question. What is your writing process like?
Well, the way I write, I have a big chalkboard and I just start brainstorming. Sometimes I dream this stuff, man, to be real too. But I have it just comes to me. It's like a gift. But I take a chalkboard or I take some post-its, I write all the characters' names, their motivation, you know. Then I make a list.
Absolutely.
Okay, this character's gonna live here. This character's gonna die. How's this character gonna die? What's this character's attitude? Stuff like that. I just break it all down. But I got over 103 screenplays. I started working on a new one yesterday. I'm
Oh,
writing a
awesome.
sequel.
What's your favorite genre to do? Slasher.
I
Uh,
write like small town horror movies.
'Cause
So
I watched. Oh, go ahead.
vampires. Did you see my movie Second Chance?
I did. I watched it today. It was
Yeah.
definitely interesting. There was a lot of things I really liked about that. I thought it was. I mean, you know, you only have so much of a budget, so it's. I'm not sure what you worked with, but I enjoyed it. I thought it definitely had a creep factor, especially some of the voices. It gave me that almost the Man in Black uh voice. The sound from Halloween. So yeah, it had a good creep factor, and there was some really cool shots that I liked.
And a good kill count. Good kill count. You know, you got to have a good kill count.
There was
You got
definitely kills. You didn't lack on kills, that's for sure. There was some
yeah.
good ones too.
Then you got to have a little humor in there. That's why I wrote the sheriff's part like that because Harvey Kaufman, he's a great actor. Um, he was trying to play it a little serious, so I told him, you gotta. I wanted to make it a little, you know, Texas Chainsaw 2-ish a little with him.
Yeah, give it a little oomph, a little comedy to it. I noticed with I don't want to give away the film to anybody who hasn't seen it. Second Chance, you can find it on Amazon Prime. I put the link for your company, the Scared Stiff Studios or Scared Stiff. What's it?
Scared,
Scared Stiff?
scared stiff films.
Scared Stiff Films. It's in the description, guys. I got to get it where I got locked down. But if I start using another device because I'm in the basement, I know I'm gonna lag too bad. So I don't want to do that. How you doing, Galactic? Good to see you, buddy. Um.
My
Oh,
YouTube is SS Movie Network.
SS Movie Network. I'll add it in the description after what we do. It. I'll make sure it's in the links and in the comment section. That way, anybody who watches the replay can get to it. But go ahead and tell them again. They'll look it out.
All right, my
Let me see.
YouTube is SS Movie Network, but it's all together. My website is scaredstiffilms.com.
Okay,
And
hold on. I'm gonna try to find that.
Second Chance you can find on Amazon Prime.
It's SS. What was it again?
Movie Network. It's all together.
Okay. And Cheetah had a good question. Do you have a journal by your bed?
No, I don't. I don't keep no journal. Mostly everything's in I keep in my brain. You know. When I get an idea of something, let's just say I'm outside, I get an idea of something, I just jot the notes down on my phone.
And I just got you. I'm going to share your link. I just got your link for your YouTube channel.
Oh,
So
okay. All right. Thank you for that. I appreciate that.
no problem. I've been wanting to have it set up, but for some reason my own stream's not showing up on my other device. So let's see if it's showing up now. No, it's still not showing up. Are you kidding me? But what so you said you had 3 films you're working on. What's your filming production like? Like how long do you like what's your ideal amount of time that you want to take to shoot a film, edit
Takes
it?
me to add like a studio, maybe 4 to 6 weeks. Depends on how I'm shooting. Like if I'm just shooting on weekends, it'll take me like a couple of weekends, about 5, 6 weekends or whatever. It depends on sometimes I have to do reshoots. You know, when I look at the dailies, I'm one of them people. If I don't like something in the reshoots, I won't reshoot it the next day. I'll just keep moving along on the schedule, and then after I'll go back and reshoot those scenes that I didn't like.
I'm dropping your link right now. I'm still listening to you. So you have your own process. It seems like a different process, but it works for you. I have like scripts too. I keep in my head. I'm terrible at writing. That's why I've never really. I'm trying to put a couple ideas together. Like um, I think when you do it that way, you have your own way of doing it, and it works for you. And it seems like it works for you. Where it sounds like if you tried to write it down, it just wouldn't be as good as if it was up here for you.
No, I write my screenplays out, but I don't like keep a journal by my bed or whatever. Like it's just like character wise. Like today, I'm writing a new script, and I was watching TV earlier. I said, "Oh shit, I should do it. I should make, you know, because I'm trying to get ready to write. I'm writing a sequel to my vampire movie, so I'm just trying to make it different. You know, I try not to take anything from anybody's movie. So I was just sitting around today, and something came to me. Oh, I should do this. I should make the character do this and that. So when it comes to me like that, I'll just go to my computer and go into the final draft and get to work, you know?
Oh, so you put it in a computer, not so much a journal. You
Nah,
ever take notes? Like if you have something and you don't want to forget it, will you take a note or something?
not write professional screenplays.
Well, I know, but say you're driving along and you got an idea and you don't want to forget it. Like it's something like I don't want to forget this, or is it's locked in there once it's locked in and you can just let it flow when you type.
Either that or I'll put it in the notes on my phone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
was
then,
kind of curious with that
yeah.
because I know it's got to stink to forget something. If you have a good idea, has that ever happened to you? You're thinking about something, you have no way to put it down. It's like I forgot what I was thinking.
Nah, I make sure I put that down. I
Yeah.
mean,
You
you
make
don't
sure that's logged in, huh?
you don't want to lose no ideas.
I'm trying to get your the Scared Stiff for you on there too. The link for Scared Stiff Films. I'm getting on that link right now because I want to put that in there and everybody make sure you support Rakeem. Awesome dude. He's got so much good stuff. Check him out on Facebook too. I didn't put your link in the description. I didn't want to do it. I put it on Facebook because I didn't want to do that for you, but you do share a lot of incredible pictures and experiences. And it was so funny with Beatrice Buckley. She
Oh,
posted
yeah,
her video, and there you are.
I hope she's watching that. That shit was funny that day. I'm at the Brooklyn Horror Con, So I'm outside taking pictures of people. I ran into a couple of people that asked me for my autograph or whatever. They had purchased some of my movies before, right? The notification pops up on my phone. She's live and shit. So I just went up behind her and tapped on the shoulder and showed her the phone.
Yeah, I
And that's
know it. I was there. I didn't realize because you were wearing a mask. I couldn't even. All I saw was your eyes, and she's like, "Oh, show." So it was just kind of funny because I had just done a sit down with Beatrice like the week before, a couple days before, and the fact that I'd been talking to you and me and you kind of planned out, but we both got busy. I was going to Orlando. You were doing this, and me and you've been talking about doing a sit down and hanging out. And I didn't realize at the time you were a filmmaker too, and because you look, I saw, but I didn't know as much. I'd see
I
a
got
lot of the
a
posts
snapshot
about
of that.
convention.
I got a snapshot of that shit. Cause I always joke with her and send that shit to her on Messenger. But I'm gonna get her to sign that shit. That's funny. That picture of me holding a phone with her in the phone.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was funny. It was hilarious, and I didn't realize it was you until after I saw you post it.
Yeah.
Because you were wearing a mask and stuff. It wasn't like you said your name or anything. You were just kind of there, and it was too funny because I think I had just messaged you before that. Hey, make sure you go because I knew you were at the same convention. Go say hi to Beatrice Buckley, and you were already on that. You were already on camera on her camera watching her film.
I know I
It
took
was
about
pretty funny.
that. She was like, oh man. I really took her by surprise with
Yeah,
that.
she was so nice. I had a great time sitting down with her. She is so much since she stopped really being in the public eye as far as acting. I know she wants to get back into it. Um, Happy Rain, Rain. I'm hoping it's that I'm saying it right. Happy Rain. If you could have any actor in one of your films, who would it be and why?
That's a good question. Probably my friend Tony Todd or my other friend Jason Levy.
Oh, Jason Levy. I just spoke with his brother Mike the other a couple weeks ago, a stream, and Tony Todd's on that. So that's pretty damn cool. Small world, man. The horror community is pretty tight knit. It's like you find out, oh, you know him, oh, you know him, and it's yeah. But Jason and Michael are really cool, man. They are talented, man.
No, I'm talking about Jason from Christmas Vacation.
Oh, okay. My bad. I thought you were saying Jason Levy. There's a Jason Levy
Oh, you talking about the
that's
terror
out there.
guy?
Yeah, the Tire Fire guys.
Oh, I met them at
Jason and Michael Levy.
the Brooklyn Horror Con. Yeah.
Yeah, they're really cool. Well, I've talked to Mike. I haven't talked to Jason, but they're both really cool. From what I've seen, like I'm friends on Facebook, but Mike's really cool. Like we sat down, I talked with them, and Derek's horror stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
me and him sat down with Michael Lee. It was a fun discussion for sure. Looking forward to Terrifier too. So you got a vampire movie though.
You have a
What's your
vampire.
favorite vampire movie?
My favorite. I got three: Blackula, Salem's Lot, and John Carpenter's Vampires. Those are the best three damn vampire movies I've seen in my 40-something years.
Those are good. Those are good. I do like vampires. That's one of my favorite ones too. Did that inspire you to write this? What I was going to lead to, the script you're working on. Is there any influence or things you took that
Well,
not that you'd use it?
part one we shot in 2015. We bought it out 2016, and it did pretty well. So it's one of my films that put me on a map. So we decided let's do a sequel. I'm not big on doing sequels because I have so many scripts and so many dream projects or whatever. But they want to do it, so I'm gonna get it written. Because I was making a sequel to a Second Chance. It wasn't Second Chance 2. It was called Sarah. I don't want to give away the movie in case people didn't see it. You saw it, but you saw the ending of the movie. So
Yeah, it left
yeah,
the room for more.
Yeah, the girl with the baby. That's all I'm gonna say. Remember the end when the lady left? The girl left and drove away.
I really enjoyed what you were trying to get out of it, especially with. I mean, there's a lot that goes into filmmaking, as you know. I mean, I've and seeing what you have to do and what you did, I thought it was pretty cool. And you tried to put some twists in there,
It's
and I give you a lot of props for doing that.
it's very tedious making horror movies. Very tedious, and working with large numbers of people, just getting them all in one place on the same accord is not easy.
Yeah, especially when it's an indie thing, because yeah, it's not a lot of people that are in the indie movies. You got regular jobs, you got this and that. So I can only imagine. And then if they're in the state or if they're not too, they have to travel.
They all paid actors, so I flew them out. You know, they all professional actors. SAG, a lot of them, they was all paid or whatever, and they came out. I had the table reading and everything. It all worked out. So then there's times where I had to bring a few of them back, and I got contracts and stuff, and a lot of them agreed to come back when I needed to reshoot stuff. So it worked out.
That's good, man. Yeah, there
We
was stuff. I there
we
was
shot.
the guy who did the sheriff was pretty good. I liked him.
Yeah, Harvey Kaufman. Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Harvey Keitel. Yeah, yeah. They all
That was
seemed like you guys seemed like you had a lot of fun.
that was your favorite character.
Oh well, I mean, yeah, in a sense, because he would, even though, like you said, you wanted him to be a little more funny at times, it kind of made it funny because he was so serious at times. I know you were, I could see you were, but it worked. I worked. I enjoyed it. He was entertaining. I always enjoyed the scenes. I enjoyed a lot of the scenes. I mean, everybody put 100% into it. You could tell there was a lot of heart to it, and it would, anybody who does something indie and tries to and writes a screenplay, gets the people together and follows their passion, man. I'd rather be supporting somebody doing that, and it makes a difference when you support somebody who's doing an indie project compared to just being a number for Paramount or Disney or something going to the movies. So I've become like a real big indie.
You see how I am online. I be getting mad at people when they be criticizing, like that whole Halloween kills and people had all them derogatory things to say. I could kind of understand people get mad because they expect a lot. Like this is $1 million picture, whatever. But people just don't understand how hard it is to get this shit off the ground. It is not easy. It's hard work, time, money. Like if you and I don't take movies literally. Like people look at the shit. I'll be watching people's YouTubes and they be nitpicking every little thing. Well, how did Michael Myers learn how to drive? Like it's a fucking movie and you thinking too fucking much about it. Yeah, if he was in a mental house, how did he learn how to drive? How did he
It
steal
wasn't thought out in '78.
So people just take the
I mean,
shit.
they acknowledge that. Loomis acknowledges him not him being. Who taught him how to drive? But it was kind of one of those things where they addressed it, but they never really planned on any sequels. So it wasn't like there was this big backstory. John Carpenter thought about it in the script with Deborah Hill.
I think that was well put together though, because they didn't have no blood in there and that shit still fucking was iconic.
'78 is my favorite horror film of all time.
Oh, I have like 20 favorite, but Phantasm is one of mine.
Well, you know how Phantasm, you said, scared the hell out of you? That was Michael Myers watching it on TV, on a black and white TV in '78. And I enjoy the grittiness of the '80s movies and horror. I like the practical effects and the grittiness. Like I don't need horror in 4K from the '80s. I enjoy it like gritty and grainy. I'd almost rather watch it on a VHS in a sense where it has that old vibe to it.
Exactly. That's how my vampire movie is to date. I sell those on my web. That's how it is.
What
I got it look like I got it looking like an old VHS.
I think it gives, especially being an indie person, an easier way to use shading and not have it in, 4K or 1080. It helps filmmaking, I'd imagine, especially when you're on a budget.
And I kept making my movies like that, but then I said, you know what? I said I gotta like make them with the times. I said, let me make this one in 4K. My new movies was gonna be in 6K. My new movie's gonna be in 6K. This way you could bump them down if you want. You know, you
I
go
almost don't, even 4K,
with film, right? You can't go up, but you could go down. That's why I was shooting it like in 4K at 6K.
that gives more options.
Yeah,
It's
you
a
got
smart
more.
move. Yeah, I like the old gritty. I mean, that's one of the things I loved about 80s. There were two movies that freaked me out pretty bad. Well, three as a kid, and that would be Halloween 78, Sleepaway Camp at the end. That just freaked me out as a kid, just with that face and just the twist and everything just
Yeah,
freaked me out. And
that was creepy. I rented that from the mom and pop video store. That was creepy. But one of my favorite movies of all time, besides Phantasm, is The Midnight Hour. You see me posting that the other day. I watched that
yeah, yeah.
every fucking Halloween from a kid. I love that movie.
Actually, Patrick, have Cheetah View. They have the midnight hour broadcast they do. So I think that's pretty cool. So it's one of those things. I don't think I've ever seen the midnight hour. I gotta watch it.
Yeah, they got it on
I don't
YouTube.
think I've ever seen it. On YouTube.
Yeah.
I'll check it out.
Not like it's fucking an awesome movie. It got an all-star cast. It has Kevin McCarthy from The Blob, Dick Van Patten, Peter DeLuise from 21 Jump Street, Sherry Belafonte, Harry Belafonte's daughter, Joan Allen. It's fucking. It's about these kids. They live in this small town called Pittsburgh Cove, and they break into some museum and they steal some parchment and shit like that, and they lift some curse or whatever and unleash all the hell and evil on this town, and they have this big Halloween party, and all the ghouls come there or whatever, and this girl comes back from the dead, but she's from the 50s. So her and one of the main characters, this guy, she falls in love. She never got to fall in love when she was alive, but it's based like in the 80s, but she's from the 50s. So she's telling him, yeah, let's go to the mall shop and stuff like that, like the 50s stuff. So he's like,
So she died probably she was a ghost, I imagine, right, from the 50s.
nah, they all came back from the grave. They they all came back,
Okay.
but that night she didn't come back like a zombie, came back like a regular girl. So she didn't know what was going on, and then they figured out what was going on. So then they had to, seal the parchment and lift the curse or whatever. And it was cool because it had werewolves in there, vampires, it had midgets, had like some little midget
I,
monster. It was a good
I'm gonna
movie.
have to check it out. I'm gonna have to take a look at it. I'm gonna have to check. I might have seen it and I just don't remember because in the 80s I just rented every horror movie, and I probably forgot more names of movies than I remember half the time because we just grabbed the coolest cover and some,
That's
back in the 80s.
back then. That's how
Or hit
we
or miss. The cover was not as good as the movie. We'd go on.
That's how we did it back then because we didn't have all this internet stuff. So I used to go in the video store, and my mother used to tell me, "You get one for you, I'm gonna get one for me and for grandma." And I went straight to the horror section, and I always used to look at the cool covers. Then you just take it from there. Good old
I was the
days.
same way. Me and my buddies, we do the sleepover and we just watch horror all night. And man, it was great back in the day, man. I miss those days. They were fun. I
That's
don't think
it.
the kids get to experience them like.
Nah, like these kids nowadays, they into the video games, man, and the internet. But me and two of my friends I grew up with, we loved that movie Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, and we know about. So we used to get this chalkboard and write all the quotes from there, write all the lines from there, and recite the shit.
You were cutting out a little bit on mine. I don't think you are on the stream. It's just how StreamYards has been for me lately. It seems it'll cut out for a second. Oh, hey, Babu, I appreciate that. How you doing? I hope I'm saying it right. Babu Rio Sangma. And I know I'm not supposed to use the S word, so I'm going to just remove it. Not because I don't like it. I don't have a problem with it, but I guess I don't even care because I'm not worried about it. I'm going to leave it.
Mess with you on YouTube?
Oh, they don't like people to say sub. I don't care though. Not that I don't care, but YouTube will get over it. I heard it's not good to have that, and I've heard it from a bunch of people. What's going on, Boogeyman Studios and Twisted Creations? He did those coveralls I was wearing in my Facebook picture?
Yeah.
And the mask? That's Boogeyman Studios.
Nice.
Yeah, he's a talented guy. He does some pretty amazing work.
That's the guy that James Drew Courtney was signing the stuff? I saw
Yeah, well, he signed I gave him one of Boogeyman's masks, and I gave him another one, and then another one did some of the busts and the displays I got, and like I got a Nick Malpagano 13 on the big bust with the Myers house. So I got a few different people behind me. Over there is James Grimm. Is Rob Zombie. Evil Jay's creepy Evil Jay's creepy closet is that pumpkin right there. It actually flashes and lights up. And a lot of the art, Scott Straka. You see the Big Ben behind me. There's another Evil Jay with the Franken clown, and then Big Ben over there is another Jesse Aarons, which a lot of them are I can't think of his name right now. J.C. Wilde's molds. So yeah, I try to collect a bunch of different people's stuff. Show some love.
I see people rehauling those masks all the time.
Which ones?
All those Trick or Treat Studio masks, especially that Halloween.
Oh yeah, well, they got great molds. I had some original molds, like the 13 by Nick Malpagano. That one right there. Oh, that's that one right there. That's his 13 mask up there.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's his actual mold he made. So it's not, say, a 78 or anything. It's his interpretation, which is a really cool mask. I'm not sure if you know who Nick Malpagano is, but real talented guy too. Boogeyman did this is the one I was wearing. And
Yeah, so
I did have Nick Castle and James Jude Courtney sign the inside of another one, but Boogeyman's been really cool to me. He hooked me up with those coveralls I was wearing, and so I'm sending him that mask back to him. I thought it should go home to him. He's been a good dude. But yeah, so what's the name of your vampire movie? We never got to that. You always say you got a vampire movie. What's the name of it?
Called The Date.
The Date?
Yeah. I sell them off my website. Nice. Yeah, that's the one I'm writing the sequel for right now.
Right. Is that on Amazon or is that just YouTube or anything?
Nah, I just sell the DVDs for that one. This the second chance is on Amazon. I just started the streaming thing because I'm more of a physical media type of guy. I sell most of my stuff off my website. And at conventions when I'm signing there or whatever. I signed on Chiller a couple times. I was a guest like 2 or 3 times already.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. It's just it keeps getting choppy on mine. I don't think it is on the stream, but StreamYards has been acting really funny on my end.
Yeah, I can hear you clear on mine.
Yeah, okay. It is what it is. I probably got so much stuff on my phone. I got to clear it out, like put it on the computer, and then just kind of clear everything off my phone. I think the memory's almost full. I put a lot of stuff on it. It's a decent phone for what it is and what I got. It's definitely it's got more memory than I can. I'm surprised by how much memory it has, but it's getting full.
Yeah, you got to.
So I just dropped your link also for Scared Stiff.
Thank
So
you.
you guys can find his stuff on a physical media.
Yeah, they could get it off my website or my online store. I even got physical copies of Second Chance too of Blu-rays.
I saw that, and I wish I had more time because I bought it on Amazon Prime, and for a few bucks more, I would have rather had the physical copy. But I wanted to at least give it a watch before I talked to you, so I knew it, you know, a little bit about you on top of what I kind of learned from you on Facebook. And I always thought, I'm like, this dude's pretty cool, man. And a lot of things, I know you've hit some, you know, stuff happens, and you know, some people just don't appreciate what other people do, and you always keep your head up, and I respect that, man. Because nothing ever goes smooth. You're always going to get those haters, unfortunately, but there's going to be those people that support you, and that's what makes it worth it.
Yep. Some people, they
And
just get it, man. People take life for granted and all of that. I use my bumps in the road to climb mountains, you know?
we got a new one here, a new member here, P. I'm here for the classic horror characters. Laugh out loud. Just seeing you guys on my YouTube. New here. Hey, welcome aboard. I'm sitting here talking to my new pal Rakeem, a filmmaker, horror fanatic or addict. Should we call it horror addict?
Yeah, we're addicts.
Horror,
This is
horror
a
addicts. Yeah.
this is a bad disease, man.
At
This
least it. Hey, at
this
least it's
this
like I
habit
said. It holds value.
this habit's worse than drugs, man. You will blow your whole damn fortune on this shit, man.
But the good thing is, like I said, at least even if you blow all your money, it still holds value. It's still money in the bank right there, where
Yeah,
it's not just throwing out money and you haven't put anything. It's an addiction, but it's also an investment too. Look at what you said. Your house is pretty much a horror-filled house. I mean, between physical media, 8x10 autographs,
yeah,
probably
I got a
every
music.
top mask you loaded.
Yeah, I got the museum, man. I be trying to chill. That's why I try to stay up from looking at them con websites, cause I'm like a big kid. Soon as Chiller came around, I started looking at that like, oh man, this person's gonna be there. I gotta get this person. I need two of these. I need the poster, the 8x10, and I need a picture of it. That be me.
There's it's just say no. You just can't. I know.
And I go there sometime to talk to them and buy one thing. And then when I hit their table, I'll be like, oh man, I need this poster sign. I need this book sign. I need this sign and that sign. Like, it's crazy, man.
Man, it's like me. I'm already planning on going to Ocala, Florida, for Spookala, and I wasn't gonna do any more till next year. But it's like, all right, well, you know, I'll go see my parents again. Load up the minivan, drive 20. Like my arm was numb. I'm getting too old to be doing like 24-hour straight drives where I used to be able to do it back in the day. And
Right.
then with all the stuff, I can't even lean back. And I'm a tall guy. I'm like 6'1". So
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
six
my
three.
hand was numb for 2 weeks.
I'm 6'3".
Oh yeah, you're a tall dude too.
Yeah.
So with what's your next project's going to be the sequel, the vampire sequel? Are you working on these individually? You said 3 in the works. Are you going to work on them like all together, like one after the other, or?
Well, I'm working with this guy. If everything goes well, I'm going to be talking about that project soon. Somebody that I'm collabing with, a fellow filmmaker. Um, I'm working on the date too, and I got another project I'm trying to get off the ground. I was supposed to shoot last year, but the executive producer passed away. So I'm trying to get that. I'm going to make two crowdfundings, and one is already executive produced.
Well, I wish you best on those. Let's see. We had P who's new here. Blue Jacket, brother. I'll throw one if you keep showing up and you're in these live chats. I'll throw you a Blue Jacket, no problem. I don't have a problem with it. Um, unless you're trying to drop a link. I don't know. Boogeyman said a lot of haters in the business. We all know that. And it's a tough business at times too. There's a lot of personal feelings I've
Yeah,
noticed. Like the
yeah.
more I get involved, the more I notice.
The way I do my stuff, I don't really pay attention. But you see me when I be online, I just get mad when them people come up there. Look, you're doing something with yourself right now. You have this podcast, right? You Boogeyman, he's making all that nice stuff or whatever, masks, different things. Them people be online with nothing going on. Nothing going on. Nothing going
Oh,
on.
dude, I've had a
And then they giving their opinion down on other people's hard work. So that's why you be seeing me sometime like, what the hell is this person talking about? Do they know how hard to move?
I can give you my personal experience. I've had to turn off my likes and dislikes on some because I know it's like I'll have all likes and stuff and I'll get these support. So anybody here, I appreciate it. Any likes,
Right.
comments makes a big difference. Because I got one person who'll make like 9 accounts and just come in and you'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, whether it's a group or somebody. And all I'm doing is trying to talk to different people, promote other people, help anybody else I can, share them to somebody else. I'm not doing anything. I work hard. I work like 100 hours a week and just trying to do something I enjoy. And then you just got somebody with no life and they
Yeah,
want to pull that.
they want to down others or whatever, but I don't pay attention to that. But look, that
Yeah,
means you
yeah, cool.
got, like where I come from, we look at it like this. You got haters, you doing something right.
Yeah, exactly. I kind of look at it that way too. But it's also one of those things where I'm trying to bring on guests, and I don't care if you disrespect me, but you disrespected my guests when you do that, or the talented people I'm bringing, or somebody I'm trying to showcase. And like for me, I don't take it personally. I could care less what people think about me. I don't
Exactly.
really care, but I expect people to respect other people that I'm bringing on as a guest. I'm more one of those people that protect the people I'm looking out for than I'm going to protect myself or get offended myself.
Exactly. Somebody always gonna have something to say. I learned that lesson as a child. And some
Yeah.
people
They can't do it. They're so miserable in their lives. They want to. It's
exactly.
pathetic. Pathetic.
Do you
It's like
know
take that energy and do something
what?
for you that you enjoy.
Do you know how hard it is to get a project off the ground? Like, dude, that people just don't get it. People just don't get it. It's hard to make one movie. I have 10 movies. I only put about 4 or 5 out though. Cause I'm not I'm that's including like when I say 10, all my college projects, my thesis film. I just never put that stuff out because I consider that just my schoolwork or whatever, but it's not easy. And every project I made, right, is executive produced. It ain't like I just got up and made my own movie deal and said, look, I'm gonna take my this is all executive produced. People believed in me to give me thousands of dollars to make a movie. So you gotta be doing something right. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I agree with you. I agree with you, Boogeyman. I'm 100% with you, and I usually never mention it. It's just like halfway through the stream, and the person would never waste that much time. And if they did, then all the credit to them. But yeah, I'm not that worried about it. Let's see. Remember the one where Chucky Doll? This is from P. Gets barbecue smoked. Oops. Where barbecued smoke in the living room, haha, turned to charcoal, huh? That was let's see. That was what
That
I'm
was
trying
their
to.
series. They got a Chucky series. I think the last
I haven't. I saw the first two episodes, and Tuesday happens to be my day off, and I just have internet at my house because I never ever use my cable. I had it, and I'm paying for it, and I never use it. And now Chucky's on, so I might get it because they had the first two episodes on YouTube. I thought it was pretty good. I was enjoying it. I do want to watch more of it.
okay, but I would have wrote it a lot different. I like it though. I appreciate it. The best two horror shows that I've seen in the last few years was Bates Motel and The Strand. The Strand is my show. I just bought the box set. I loved it so much. You saw The
I think I
Strand?
commented on that. I think I watched the first two. There's what, 3 or 4 seasons of that? 3, right?
The Strand. The
I think
Strand.
I watched the first 2 seasons, and it was really I was digging it. And then life gets, I've missed the last season. I know it's on Netflix, so I'm gonna finish watching it.
Yeah,
But,
and the Bates Motel
or
was real.
Hulu, it's not one of them.
Bates Motel was done well too.
I started watching that and I couldn't get into it because maybe it's the old school in me. Psycho is one of the first horror movies I watched, like with my family and stuff like that. My mother, it's the first time they ever flushed the toilet in a movie. Yeah, and so she just good
Though.
memory.
She's right
You know
about
who was there? Who was in Orlando was I can't think of her name right now, but the lady who actually was in the shower scene. It wasn't Janet Leigh. It wasn't Janet Leigh in the shower scene.
Oh, wasn't
The
her?
lady who was actually in the shower. No, there was a body double. I never knew that until this event, and she was at the event.
I thought that was her.
No, it wasn't, and I didn't know that either until Orlando Phantasm. I can't think of her name. Good evening, two boys and their pops. A good evening to you as well. But yeah, what is you said you have your top 10 horror movies?
Oh wow. Phantasm, Salem's Lot, Silver Bullet. I got so many. Return of the Living Dead 2, Return of the Living Dead 3, The Howling. I actually like Fright Night 2 better than Fright Night 1.
Really?
Yeah, I love Fright Night 2. Um, Friday the 13th Part 3. Um, I said Blackula. Blackula. Texas Chainsaw 3. Evil Dead. Chud. Remember Chud?
Cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers. Yep. I watched that back in the 80s.
The Burning. I have a lot. Like I have a lot.
I'm with you on that. You ever watch that movie Slaughterhouse?
Yeah, I like Slaughterhouse. That's funny.
Me too. Yeah, that was a good one. It had a good mix of comedy and horror. It was a good slasher, underrated. And Demons. Demons was another one that I really enjoyed back in the day.
Like the Night of the Demons. My favorite one was Part 1 and Part 3. Part 2 was I don't like Sleepaway Camp 1. I like the 2 sequels of Pamela Springsteen. Those was real. I like those.
Okay, so you're the sequel. I see the sequels. I enjoy them. I do, but the first one was that at the end that face. It just that whole image of it freaked me out. Like the whole movie. I'm not saying it was forgettable, but that end scene definitely just made that movie for me.
I think Springsteen did a better job than Felissa Rose.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it depends on she. It was a different character though, in a sense. It really was. It was very different. The actress who played her when Felissa Rose, it's a very different character. It is from the first one, but I appreciate it. I'll give credit though. That lawnmower scene was pretty freaky. I always forget that was season 2, right?
He's putting the girl's head in the toilet in the outhouse with the stick.
The bees one always got me too. When she put the hornet's nest in there.
What about the guy with the firecracker when she put the firecracker in his nose?
They had some creative kills in Sleepaway Camp, some underrated kills that I really enjoyed. Like I can put up with some bad moments, but when you put a couple cool kills in there, to me, that's what really, especially as an '80s kid, that's what I enjoyed. I was always the I was there for the action. I mean, obviously, back in the day, we were there.
The producer of Second Chance, he didn't really want the movie like that. He was really like on some, yeah, you got to base it all on more story. Cause I cut a lot of shit out of there, dude. They was like, it was a bunch of more talking and all of that. And being I'm an editor, I'm a professional editor. I know how to pace things well and cut things together. I said no. At the beginning, it was like more talking than what you seen in that. It was an actual church service and all of that or whatever. I said, you know what? We're going to get straight to the chase. People got to die to me in a horror movie within the first 5 minutes. Within the first 10 minutes, you got to have at least 4 people dead. Then you could like tone it down. You have to explain the story. So then that's when you get the 2 people together talking at the table, whatever. Get the little sheriff in there, whatever, and then you just go on the damn killing spree again after that. I mean, that's the type of horror movies I like. I can't sit there through all the talking.
And that's the great thing about horror is when there's different directions. Like everybody likes something different in horror. And one of the trends that what always bothered me in horror was, you know, there were so many. Okay, one did well, and then it would copycat, and you get a handful that were good, like Slaughterhouse and this and that. You had the Scream movies, and then you had I Know What You Did Last Summer, Final Destination, which I enjoyed, but everything was that kind of genre where it seemed like they always stuck to a format that worked until it got burned out, and then they'd move on to the next one and then burn it out. Where I love the variety, where it doesn't have to. Like one movie can be this way. I don't want every horror movie to be, you know, Michael Myers or Jason or this or that. I like the variety of it. And definitely times get stuck in that. It's like, oh, this works, so let's do it too. Let's do it too. And
they did a good job on Scream. Like I said before, Wes Craven brought back horror with that. Because it got dulled down. I Know What You Did Last Summer and all of that. And it's like people got tired of it. Horror was dying out in the late '90s and all that. And then all of a sudden, he makes this masterpiece. But then, when they came up with part 2, 3, 4, and I rewatched some of those other day. I said, "Oh, it's the same redundant stuff, man." Somebody's gonna call on the phone, but they should have switched it up more. But the Saw movies, Spiral was the best one besides the first one. I like Spiral. That was done really well.
You liked? I didn't like Spiral. Well, it wasn't. I watched it.
I liked it. I like what Chris Rock did in there. He really.
Maybe it was just me, but it's like you almost like kind of expect things. Even like with Jigsaw, I like the first. I like the first one. I like the second one. I did like Donnie Wahlberg in that whole thing and that whole twist end. And then it just, I don't know. It's one of those movies that just stuck around too long, like Final Destination. It just got to the point where you know what direction they're going to kind of go on with the movie. You kind of get the vibe. It might be a little bit different here, but it was almost a copy and paste of the previous movies. And I do have a lot of love for Saw, and I do have a lot of love for Final Destination. Even some of the sequels, like I'll watch them more now. And at the time, it was kind of like, okay, another one.
After Final Destination 3, they should have left it alone.
Agreed. And that's what but you know, the money's there, so we're gonna keep pushing for it.
Right.
Let me read some of these comments because I know there's a few people here. She was a former Playboy model. I'm not sure who he's two boys is talking about. If and this is a good question. The next one. If you could tell me who you're asking about, who's a Playboy model, well, I'm sure Rakeem would probably know, or I'd know. But this is a good question. If you could get to spend a day with any horror director, dead or alive, who would you pick?
Well, I spent the day with a lot of them before.
You have. You certainly have.
I'm friends with a lot of people. I enjoyed being around Mr. Jeff Burr. He made the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. Um, I didn't pick Toby Hooper's brain before for hours. So many.
Alice was good.
Sam Raimi was nice when I spoke to him a few times. I've met Rob Zombie before and spoke to him. Um, John Carpenter was cool. It's
I,
so many. But if I had to pick one, I enjoyed talking to Jeff Burr.
you've mentioned him quite a few times. He seems to have left a real big impact on you with what he's done, and I respect that. I understand, and the fact that you have had this opportunity to meet these people, I think that's pretty incredible. You know, legends. You've met legends, and that's really, it's like, oh man, this dude is on this, and I respect it, and I actually get, it's like, oh man,
Adam,
this
Mar-
dude's having fun.
I just met Adam Marcus from the director Jason Goes to Hell. He's pretty nice too. I spoke to him a little while and got to like really talk to him. But there's a lot of legendary directors out there.
There is. Like for me, John Carpenter, I didn't get a chance to meet, but being like Halloween's my, like Phantasm was that movie that did it for you. Halloween '78 was for me. So whenever I know, like if you're naming a horror movie, I gotta imagine you have a lot of favorites, but there's just something special about Phantasm for you and the experience you had with that movie.
That was the movie that made me want to make movies.
And that's, and I love Phantasm also. So you didn't pick a bad one to make you want to make movies. And I kind of saw that in Second Chance. I did see some inspiration from it in its own way. That it's, there's, I'm not saying it wasn't Phantasm. Yeah, it wasn't the same kind of,
Right.
but it definitely had the religious tone.
Yeah, I wanted to do something different. But a lot of my movies have that like religious tone in there, dealing with like priests and cults and vampires and stuff like that. But Second Chance is basically a battle between good and evil.
It is, and like you said, there's room for more. So I know you were talking about doing a sequel to that, and I
Oh
think
yeah,
that'd be
already wrote the sequel to that. That's ready to go. I'm gonna
so.
start the Indiegogo for that eventually, and it's pretty interesting how the story continues. You know.
I think so. I think there's definitely. I think Indiegogo would be a great place to go to generate, especially since you got the first one out there. And there is more story to tell. I mean, the end left you where, okay, there's more to it, and there's a lot more story you can put into it, because I imagine, like you said, you did the edits, you wanted to keep it interesting in your own way, or as an editor, what you felt to keep the audience going and interested from beginning to end, where there's still a lot more story you can add to it that hasn't been heard about it, that you probably know, but it's still, there's something more to it.
Yep, exactly. Yep. I could have edited that movie like 5 different ways. I could have edited it 5 different ways, but I just chose to go that way with it. I cut a lot of stuff out. I even changed some of the kills. I reshot some of the kills because it wasn't bloody enough for me. And on set things go hooray sometimes. So I had to go back, reshoot a few things that I wasn't happy with when I got it in the editing.
And that's money for you that you
Yes.
have to do it, but you wanted to do it the way you felt it was the best way to do it, and you got to respect that. Let me there were some more questions. Horror Man, it's his favorite. Phantasm also. Horror Man, good to see you. Chris Callie, good to see you. Um, I'm gonna go down. I want to ask some of these questions because some of them are good, and I got to run upstairs for a second. But can you see the chat on your screen?
No, I can't.
There should be a button where it says chat, and you should be able to see it. If you can't, that's fine. I'll read you some of these questions here.
When I hit the chat button, it takes I can't see myself on the screen.
Don't do that then. Yeah, I was having trouble with it before. Something's up with Streamlabs or StreamYards. I don't know what's going on with it. There was a good question I wanted to read. Oh, if you could put a different spin on a Friday the 13th, what would you add to the films?
Well, there was a fan film that just came out, and they did it.
Which one?
When it was one of them fan films. I seen it. They brought Jason's mother back, and she was killing.
Oh, that was Vincent DeSante. I was sitting right next to him at Crypticon in Kansas City.
I enjoyed it. That's one of the best fan films right now, I think. That was
what was it?
Wow.
Jason Rising, wasn't it?
Yep, Jason. Oh. I said when I saw it, I said, "Oh snap!"
Yeah, you know what? Vincent DeSante is such a good dude, man.
I know.
Like I said, I deal with 3 special needs guys, and he was awesome. Each one of them gave me each a Blu-ray of the movie. Never Hike Alone, Never Hike in the Snow.
I hung out with him at Blairstown. I know him. Me and him spoke.
Yeah, he's a dude. We were literally, my table was right next to his at Crypticon in Kansas City.
To me, it was a fan film right now.
What's that?
I said, to me, that's the best fan film right now. It was well done.
Yeah, he's a busy dude, and he's a good dude, man. I mean, like, I root for that guy. He was nothing but kind and courteous when I was there. I even did a little promo clip for me, which was nice for my group. And it was when I first started. It was like the group part in July. It was my first event having a table, and it was really cool sitting right next to Vince. Such a nice guy, man. I got to root for that guy every single time. And I don't know if you agree though with that movie, Jason Rising, with the mother. I got the, like, for me, it felt like it could lead to a crossover with the Deadites and the Ash, and kind of a crossover fan film.
I think
it left that direction.
And it was like and I felt like usually when I watch movies nowadays, I don't feel them emotions like I feel in my 80s movies. But I felt that in my chest. I said, wow, that's some creepy stuff. It was well done. They brought Adrian King back for it too.
Yeah. One of the questions, I want to come back to the Friday the 13th thing. And you love Jason Rising and what they did. I'm going to answer this one too. If you know, if I could put a spin on it, I would have I would do a sequel from, and if I'm just going on Friday the 13th, no crossover, no nothing. I'd probably go from, and I'm sure a lot of people would have said it before. And I love part 5 of Jason Lives. I do. And, but I think I would have went with the, I don't want to say fake Jason, but I think they could have added more to it and done it in a different way. Whether it was Tommy Jarvis becoming Jason.
In A New Beginning?
Yeah. And I'm a fan. I don't know if you can see it here. I got my part 5 over there.
They could have did so much more with that movie, man.
the thing is that people, I don't think me and you understand because we're at that age. We watched it. They didn't plan like a trilogy or a sequel or this or that. It could have been one and done, and they didn't know. They, like Friday the 13th. I think 1, 2, 3, and 4 kind of follow. 5 follows a little bit, and then 6 kind of you have it, but there
Yeah,
was no.
some of the movies they just go their own direction. But the one I
CJ Graham is probably
oh
one of the funniest motherfuckers I've ever met in my life. Though the dude is funny.
yeah, he's a good guy. I know him. But the one that I like the most, people get mad when I say it, but fuck it. Like I like Jason Goes to Hell because I like different shit. I like the whole the body switching shit and all of that. That was cool. I just feel like they could have showed Jason a little more. They should have just
I
bought.
think I think I agree with you. I think I personally I saw Jason Goes to Hell, and it made me like Part 8 walking out of the theater more because I saw them both in the theater.
I saw
Um,
all of them in the theater. Even when I got
I,
old. When I got older, you know how they remastered them and put them back in the theater. It was just done. So I was throwing up. I remember that part when he was eating the heart. I remember I remember going to the theater and seeing that many years ago. I was throwing up when the coroner was eating the heart. The guy from Rocky
I
Five.
didn't like that part, huh?
Yeah, I was like, oh,
I loved. I think. I think. I always say this: Jason Goes to Hell has the best Friday the 13th ending, but unfortunately it's the beginning of the movie. My problem with Jason Goes to Hell is it would have been a cool script. It sounds like it was a cool script, but it feels like it was a script written. And they're like, well, what does this need? Jason Voorhees. Whoosh, let me slap that on there. Like it almost felt like a Halloween 3, which I could have appreciated. The Season of the Witch being its own movie, which I do like Halloween 3, and I'm a big fan of it. One of my friends is actually doing a sequel to it, a fan sequel, the third channel. But it just felt like one of those scripts that was written for something else, and they slapped on Jason to it.
you know what's my three favorite horror franchise? Phantasm, Halloween. You'll never guess the other one. Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Well, I would have guessed that because I know how much of a fan you are of Part 3.
Yeah, I like Part Two. Part Two is one of my favorite movies too. I know that movie by heart. I love that movie.
Yeah.
I like the comedy in there. It's well put together.
It's not. It's. I enjoyed Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1, 2, and 3. The prequel one I didn't enjoy. I'm sure you know Steve Merlo. He's doing a prequel. I'm sure he's going to do it a lot more justice uh, than they did in that. What was it? Was it the beginning? It was Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It was the one where they were in the hospital. I barely could watch some of the sequels though.
I
But
know if I make a fan film already, you already know what I'm gonna do.
yeah, I'm pretty sure I got a good idea.
You already know which one I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give
Yeah,
them two.
if I was ever going to write one, I already know it'd be Halloween, but I know which
I
one
got
I'd give it
those.
to.
Watching them on YouTube, it's like way too many of those.
That's why I'm gonna wait. But I think I got a good idea for one that I haven't seen yet. But that's just me. I also, but that's what's kind of fun as fans and seeing these indie projects and seeing people like you who, hey, I'm just gonna do it. Not anybody can do this, but you put enough time and passion into it, go follow what you want to do. I mean, you obviously grew up with horror, a passion in it, and a desire to write these scripts and
Right.
make something of your own. And I think it's inspiring for anybody who's into it. And I always say to people, I'm here like, you don't have to write the story, you don't have to be the actor, you don't have to be the star, but everybody can contribute to these indie projects to help make better in one way or another.
A
There's
team.
so many jobs.
It's a team effort. You know,
Nobody does it alone.
can't do it alone.
Hell no. let me go to some more of these questions. Let me see. All right. All right, Rakeem. This is from Two Boys and Their Pops. When you pull inspiration to writing, do you go somewhere on location or lock yourself up for like 6 months and start writing?
No, I just write in my house. This trusty computer in back of me. This is where all the magic happens. I just write in my house, or I use my laptop.
There is no 6 month break.
No 6 month break.
It
I'm
gets done. But I think that's an important part. I mean, and that's why I came back, and one of the things I respect a whole lot with you is the bond you have with your son, and you show it so much how much you care about your son. And you can tell that's what is your drive to do what you do.
yeah.
When the
That's
shit hits the fan, when things go crappy, it's like I'm not doing this for me. I'm not doing it for my feelings. I'm doing it for my son, and I think that's an awesome thing. And I
yeah.
got a
You
tremendous
know
amount of respect for
you
that.
know you got to set examples for the youth. That's my whole world. That's my baby boy. I like him. You know, I like to set examples for him. I want him to grow up and be a man and do things the right way, like me. You know, show him he doesn't have to do bad things. He could really, and I'm showing him you can live your dreams. You know.
Well, you show him a strong dude, man, who's you know who's doing it. You're making it happen. You put it into your hands. You've taken the fandom that you've taken the experiences that you've had, and now you're sharing them and you're using them to do something you love to do. You got to be pretty excited and happy about. Hey, I'm making films. I'm doing what I love. I'm a horror fan. I'm meeting and know all these legends, and I think that's awesome, man. I mean, like I'm inspired by it. I'm a big fan of what you're doing, just because you show so much heart to it.
Yeah, it's just a lot of it's like a lot of time, a lot of effort, and it takes a lot of thought. That's like I tell people all the time. You know, people be like, somebody asked me, how do you get funding for your movies? I don't, I'm gonna start using some of the Indiegogos because I see it works for people. Some of those Kickstarter campaigns and all of that, but I just be meeting people who read my screenplays and they just love it so much. Or I'll give you 100 grand to make this. I'll give you this to make this to make this, and it's funny how I remember the first time I made a movie, watching the whole thing come together. Like my first movie, it started off from some pages, you know.
Well, hey, man, you put a lot of work into it. I mean, you got the experience. You got a lot of it's who you know, and them taking the time to hear what you're doing, and you built that up on your own by putting the effort and the time into doing it. It's not something you just do overnight. I mean, nobody can just jump in and do these things overnight. It just doesn't happen that way. You put in the time, you put in the hard work, and I'm always wishing you the best, man. Like I said, just the pictures you post before I even knew you were a filmmaker, because it wasn't like I could research you or this or that. I'm here like, but this dude's got some experiences just in these photos that you showed me some old ones when we started talking too. Some ones with, oh man,
With legends.
yeah, legends. I mean, I don't even want to get started on all of them. I mean, you have to have at least 1,000 photos from conventions that you gone to. I'm guessing.
But that I'd have met everybody who's anybody.
It's I'm envious, and I think that's awesome, man. I mean, the stories you have to tell, man. I definitely want to talk even more with you in the future. It's been a blast. We're going at an hour and a half, but dude, you are always welcome to come on, talk some horror. We could do a list of horror movies we like, and we could debate some horror movies or something. Get a group of us if you're down for it. Have some
Definitely.
fun, hang out.
I
And
thank you.
I'm certainly rooting for you, brother. I'm certainly rooting for you, dude.
I
Um, I'm
thank you for getting me on here. Yeah, we could definitely do that.
Hey, thanks for coming on, man. It's been a total honor. Like I said, I became a fan just by what I saw from you on Facebook and the experiences and kind of being able to live through it with the photos you post. So, guys, um, make sure we check out we check out Rakeem. All right, I'm gonna post his links again before we take off. You can check out Scared Stiff Films. Let me make sure I got it here. I'm multitasking. I can't walk and chew gum, Rakeem. Forgive me.
The website is
Um,
Scared Stiff Films,
I'm dropping that link right now.
scaredstiffilms.com. The YouTube is SS Movie Network. You put it all together. And Second Chance is on Amazon Prime. You can also get physical copies from my website, scaredstiffilms.com, from my online store.
I recommend going right to you, Scared Stiff Films. Unless for you, Amazon's better. But if you want that physical copy for the little bit extra you're gonna pay for Second Chance, to me, I'd rather have the physical copy. But I know I was hanging out with my dude. I wanted to watch the movie, so I bought it. I was like, I'm getting it, and I'll have to get a physical copy down the road for sure.
And definitely leave a review on my IMDb, Rakeem J.H. Lawrence.
Definitely, man. We're going to talk after too. I'll message you. You send me any links that you need me to put in here too for post stream that I didn't get a chance to get in here. And dude, thank you so much, dude.
You're welcome, man. It was a pleasure, man.
Awesome collection. You got to do a house tour next time for me of all your stuff. You could set it up a little bit.
It's way too much, man. It's just too crazy.
You just need a bigger screen.
Yeah, I know. And I need to I get tired of looking at the same like posters and stuff, so I'm shifting them around and changing some things. I'll be changing like a lot of stuff around.
Yeah, I just took everything out to set it up for Halloween. I did like a Halloween haunted garage. I don't know if you saw it on Facebook. I just finally brought it back down. But the good thing was I was able to get everything out of here. Of course, I picked a black carpet, which shows everything. So I vacuumed it for about an hour. It's a small room. Got everything set back up. Changed the posters around. Changed everything around. So Halloween kind of gave me a chance to rearrange. So I get where you're coming from, where you're just always changing things, and
Yeah.
it is a process.
When you're sitting around and laying around, like even these pictures right here, I'm I'm getting ready to swap those out with something, man. I've been looking at those for the last month. Those are paintings I got from some guy from a convention. They cost a
Those are
couple.
sweet, dude.
Yeah, but they're pretty
Those are
cool.
definitely, yeah, dude. You got you. And this is just a small fraction, guys. He's
This,
got an amazing collection.
this little
Um,
background, a joke compared to some of the stuff. I post
Happy Rain.
I post a lot on my Facebook. I post a lot of stuff. You be seeing all those pictures and different things.
Like I said, that's what made me like, this guy's pretty cool, man. Because you know how it is on Facebook. Oh, yeah, this person knows. And after a while, you get to see the people who post. You know, and it's
Right,
like, man, this dude. Well, I, I'll call you Jay for Facebook, but Rakeem, he's got
right,
some really cool stuff, man. I got to sit down and talk to this guy and see what's up with him, you know.
definitely.
And I definitely think you're an interesting guy. Hell, there's been some great views here, some great comments too. Happy Rain. This was such a great interview. He enjoyed it. Yeah, I enjoyed it too. Rakeem's a lot of fun to talk to. I could see doing another couple streams together and hanging out here and there on some streams because he's a book of knowledge of horror and experience. And I think we just barely cracked the surface of what you've experienced, Rocky.
Definitely. Like I said,
I'm
I've
gonna
been
put you on
a long.
and let you do an outro and let everybody know a little bit more. You can say your goodbyes.
Yeah, I thank everybody for stopping by, showing support. Check out my YouTube, SS Movie Network. My website, scarestiffilms.com. And I got an online store. You get some of my movies from there. Also, thank everybody, like I said, for stopping by or whatever. I really appreciate it. People giving up their Saturdays to come check us out. And look forward to seeing y'all again. I'll be back on here.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Rakeem, thank you again.
Well,
Two boys and their pops. He's a single dad also. We're all rooting for you. You keep doing what you're doing. Take care of those kids. Chris Callie, Happy Rain, Galactic Empire, all you guys who showed up, Boogeyman. Thank you. We'll talk soon, Rakeem.
speak to you soon, buddy.
Take care, brother.
All right, laters.
Later.